So end behavior, shockingly, talks about how functions behave at their ends, all right? What's happening on the far left-hand side of the function and the far right-hand side of the function. So we're just going to go through a few examples of different kinds of end behavior. All right, the first one we're going to talk about here is this guy. Oh, he's missing his arrows. Let's put some arrows on him. All right. End behavior really only applies to things that go on infinitely because we want to describe what's happening as a function is going toward infinity. All right. So there's two directions in this. There's positive infinity on the x-axis and negative infinity on the x-axis. All right. And then you can also talk about positive and negative infinity on the y's. So y can go up to positive infinity and it can go down to negative infinity. All right. So the way we write this out is we talk about what's happening as x goes to negative infinity and what's happening as x goes to positive infinity. We say as x approaches negative infinity, as x approaches the left-hand side, all right, as x is going in this direction right here, all right, what is the graph doing? And as x goes to the left, the graph is going up. All right, on the left-hand side, is the further left I go, the more up my graph goes. So as x goes to negative infinity, f of x, or my function, approaches positive infinity. Okay. Then we can look at the right-hand side too, and we can say, all right, what happens as x approaches positive infinity? All right, as x goes further and further to the right, what is the graph doing? What is my function doing? All right, and as I go to the right, my function is going up. It's going up toward positive infinity. So we say f of x is approaching positive infinity. All right, and this is how we write out what's called the end behavior. Now I know exactly what's happening on both ends of my function. All right, what about this guy? I'm going to throw some arrows on him again. I don't like a function with no arrows. Okay, so as x approaches negative infinity, all right, as I'm going in this direction, what direction is my function or my graph going? Well, on the left-hand side, it's going down. So I'll say f of x is approaching negative infinity. Okay. As x approaches positive infinity, right, as I go in this direction, all right, what are my y values doing, my function values? Well, they are still going down. They're going down on both ends here. So we'll say as x approaches positive infinity, all right, my function values are approaching negative infinity. All right, on the right side, I'm sorry, on the left side, I'm going down, and on the right side, I'm going down. Both sides going down. All right. This one has end behavior that's different on each end. Okay, so as x goes to negative infinity in this direction, as x approaches negative infinity, all right, my function is going down. F of x approaches negative infinity. And as x approaches positive infinity, what's happening to my function? So as x goes in this direction, my function is going up. Okay. And this one is the same idea, just flipped. So as x approaches negative infinity on this graph, okay, as it goes left, my function, say f of x, approaches, and it's going up, infinity. As x approaches infinity, as x goes to the right, my function is going down to negative infinity. Okay, now we'll throw one oddball in there. This guy, you can still say as x goes to the right and to the left, but as x approaches negative infinity on this function, as I'm going here in this direction, my function is not approaching an infinity. F of x is leveling off, and he's leveling off to the x-axis in this graph, okay? So instead of saying he's approaching infinity or negative infinity, we'll say that f of x approaches 0, okay? And then as x approaches positive infinity, f of x is going up like a well-behaved function. So that guy is still approaching infinity, that side. The left side is going to 0, okay, over here, but the right side is going up to infinity. So this is just a way of notating what is happening at the ends of your functions.